So now we have a bit of news to get to, and some of the news includes updates on NXT from last night's NXT, an update on Dynamite tonight, and updates on programming outside of the weekly wrestling programs that we see every week. With that being said, let's get to it, as Tony D and Dijak will fight at NXT Roadblock on March the 5th. It's not March the 5th. March 7th? March 7th. They will fight at NXT Roadblock on March the 7th. And the match will be... I'm just checking the date quick. Yeah, March 7th. It will be March the 7th, and it will be a jailhouse street fight between Tony D and Dijak. And also, at NXT Roadblock, there will be a special edition of the Grayson Waller Effect with Grayson Waller's special guest, NXT official Shawn Michaels. Ever since Grayson Waller's failed attempt to defeat Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship came to a head at NXT Vengeance Day, Grayson Waller has had it out for the NXT official and has wanted a piece of the Heartbreak Kid, claiming that Shawn Michaels isn't who he used to be and has lost a step, leading some to assume that maybe HBK is going to get back in the ring, but also assuming that HBK, if he did get back in the ring, it would not be for NXT, it would be on the main roster, and it would be at a WWE event. So it is more likely that at NXT Roadblock, we will have an announcement made for Grayson Waller's match at NXT Stand and Deliver, with the winner, with Grayson Waller versing someone to represent the Heartbreak Kid, as the Heartbreak Kid is not within the realm of competing anymore after the travesty that was his match with Triple H against the Brothers of Destruction back in 2018 at Crown Jewel. But right now, just with those two matches alone, and Miko Satomura against Roxanne Perez very likely to take place, it is NXT Roadblock is set to be a fantastic stepping stone for NXT Stand and Deliver, and I just want to applaud how WWE is building up Grayson Waller and the Shawn Michaels rivalry, because they're definitely making it worth watching and very interesting television. Also, if you missed the end of last night's episode of NXT, I hope it's up. It's probably up on the YouTube channel at this point, so go check it out, because it is definitely worth a look. Now we move to some interesting news, as Nikki Bella was the guest on the sessions with Renee Paquette, or the oral sessions with Renee Paquette, and I'm not going to break down everything that Nikki said, but Nikki, I guess you could say Nikki shot on WWE. Nikki is still clearly frustrated after what happened at Raw 30 last month, and is not letting the frustration dissipate. I completely understand her dissatisfaction with the company, and I do agree with some things that she said, but I would also say that at this point, I have a different opinion of some of the aspects of what she said than I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I was one of the people that was incredibly behind Zack Ryder and wanted Zack Ryder to do more, wanted Zack Ryder to be a star, thought Zack Ryder could be world champion. But the reality of the situation is Zack Ryder could not have been world champion. And this is not an insult to Matt Cardona. This is reality. At that point in his career, Cardona was not able to be world champion because he did not have everything together like he does now. He did not have it all together like he does now. He would have been a capable United States champion and should have been given an opportunity to be United States champion. But as far as being world champion, he did not have the opportunity. He did not have it at that point. And he would have been, again, he would have been a capable United States champion. But as far as being world champion, I don't think it is something that Matt Cardona had at that point. Could WWE have molded him and put him together? Honest to God, I think as Zack Ryder, I don't know that Matt Cardona could have been WWE champion. As Matt Cardona, unquestionably, he could have been WWE champion because he is showing with the person that he is on the independent scene and with the chains off, as the old saying goes, with the chains off, Cardona is showing the type of the potential that he had in WWE had WWE taken the chains off and let him show more creativity with his gimmick. I'm not saying that WWE has hesitation. I'm not saying WWE doesn't like when somebody gets over on their own. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in some cases, fans let the reality of the situation dilute what is actually going on, because the fact of the matter is, not every guy that gets organically over, or guy or girl that gets organically over, I should say, is ready to be world champion. Hence why WWE has secondary championships and other ways for them to get over, because it allows them to not have it where they have to give so-and-so who is organically over right now the opportunity to be world champion. You know, they did it with Kofi Kingston. They did it with Daniel Bryan. They did it... I mean, they could have done it with Sami Zayn if it was at any other time than WrestleMania season, in my opinion. But the fact of the matter is, I agree with Nikki in some regard, but I don't agree with her in every regard, in every situation, because I think there is a time and a place for the organically over talent to get his moment in the sun. You know, to get their moment in the sun, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. Because also, look at Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre may not have been organically over, but WWE saw the potential in him that he ended up getting to in another promotion, not WWE. And then he came back and realized his potential in WWE. I think, honestly, if Zack Ryder came back to WWE, he would realize his potential. God's honest truth, I think if Zack Ryder came back to WWE, he would realize his potential. Because he is a different person now than he was. He is a different person now than he was when he was in WWE. And if WWE let him be that different person, then he would show how much of a different person he is now than he was when he left WWE, or than he is when he left WWE. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. That Zack Ryder, and I think everybody or anybody that has seen Zack in or Matt in the Indies or on the Indies and Impact would say and agree with the idea that Matt is different than he was in WWE. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. That in some cases, talent is different than they were in WWE than they are outside of WWE, and Matt is getting the opportunity to put that on display. And because Matt is getting that opportunity, he is being able to show that maybe he did have more potential that he wasn't able to show in WWE. That's it. Do I agree with Nikki and her opinions on Total Divas and all that stuff? I'm not going to speak on that because I did not watch Total Divas, I did not enjoy Total Divas, and I do not like reality TV. Do I think that Nikki was right to say that because of her and Brie, they helped bring new eyes, new female, new expand that specific demographic? Yes, I completely agree with that. I do. Especially Nikki's late run when she was the longest reigning women's champion. I think that would also be the case. But I also think that if the Bellas were present now and stayed around a little bit longer, that maybe they would be looked at in a different way by fans because they would be in more of a positive, women are looked at differently now than they were when the Bellas were active, is basically what I'm saying. But with that being said, we have more to get to. We have more to get to in the next news video, so I will see you in the next video.